We used to work for 7 or 8 hours a day in the laboratory. During that time, we never said a word to any of the boys working side by side with us, and they never said a word to us. You see, it was outrageous enough that we should be allowed to attend a man's class, but to talk to any of the students, well, that wouldn't have done at all. Gertrude Klein Pierce Easby, 1878.
I think that women are in so many leadership positions today at Penn because we're the lucky recipients of the work of so many incredible women before us that have shown Penn and the world in general just what women have to offer. We wear the red and blue, hurrah, hurrah, Pennsylvania.
Well, in our class in the medical school, I think we had about 130 men, and I think we had 7 women. So I started blithely out to find a nearby, comfortable rooming house, and to my surprise and dismay, they were all for men. I thought, this is no place for women.
I enjoyed my chemistry class, and they were all male students, except my friend and myself. So they put us over in the corner, but the chemical cabinet was right there, so there was a constant flow of boys to get chemicals that maybe they needed or maybe they didn't.
We couldn't bicycle on campus? Oh no, you couldn't wear slacks. Thank goodness we had ladies' rooms, because early, when women were first admitted to Penn, they didn't even think of having a restroom for the women. I don't know what they did.
Women weren't even regular visitors. They weren't welcome into Waitman Hall because the men used to swim naked in the pool in the basement. In 1945, Hutchinson Gym was completed, and then in the women's yearbook there's an exclamation, "Waitman Hall is now ours."
When I graduated from the university, women had to pass a swimming test, and I didn't know that. Dean Spears called me in and said, "Who's coming to graduation?" And I said, "My family." She said, "It's too bad they won't see you get a diploma." So the next day, actually, I went down to the pool and explained to the woman that I could swim, but I couldn't dive. And she said, "Then you won't graduate." And I said, No, I have to graduate." And she said, "Then you will dive." So I did.
I remember my first month as president going into the quad for a meeting. My heart started racing, and I said to myself, why am I so nervous for this meeting? And then I realized that I felt like I was sneaking into some guy's room, and so that's changed. The opening of Hill House was extraordinary for us. The formal dedication was a way of saying, hey, move over, we're here.
When I was on campus in the late 60s, there was a lot of change going on in the country and a lot of turmoil. And the students got caught up in that. And from my freshman year to my sophomore year, things were totally different.
As a pre-medical student, quite often I was focused solely on grades. And then I met a wonderful organic chemistry professor, Dr. Day, who taught me and my peers the beauty of organic chemistry. He opened the door to understanding and appreciating this wonderful field.
I believe I took the first genetics course that Penn ever offered. And to think now that there are women at this university at the cutting edge of genetic research is very exciting for me.
My senior year, I was chosen to deliver a speech at the Women of Color Luncheon representing the Latina voice. That moment helped me realize that my identity as a woman was forged just as much by the women in that room as it had previously been by my language and culture and family that I was asked to speak about that day.
All of my large classes, the first 4 years I was teaching, were 160 men and not a single woman. And very frequently, the men in the class would say, "Why do we have to listen to you? You're obviously not a professor." There have been many, many changes over the last 30 years with respect to women at Penn, only one of which is the increasing number of women on the faculty. It's made a big difference.
I think having 3 women in leadership positions this year shows that the student body was really in need of a group of people that want to communicate directly with them and want to hear their views. Women have a really amazing ability to make people feel like their voices are heard.
I hope people will look at the 3 of us and Dr. Roden for what we accomplished and not simply just because we are women.
Penn allowed me to explore my abilities as an athlete in Division I competition, and also to explore my abilities as a learner. Many of the Penn women's sports programs have successive undefeated seasons. Just last year, the women's basketball team and the tennis team captured the Ivy titles.
I don't necessarily know if women come to this campus with an understanding of the journey that they're about to embark upon and the number of women that have done so before them.
Just forever. Oh, look at this dress.
Oh, nice dress.
Oh,
wow.
Everybody had
She
those
was a
hairdos like you did.
Who's that?
Was she?
Yeah.
A sorority sister of Mommy's.
Penn has been continuously changing since the time my great-grandmother went there, and it's even changed significantly since my mother was there.
I look at Penn as the place that opened every door for me. The women here particularly taught me how to be an academic and a feminist and a scholar and a community leader.
We have lawyers, we have doctors, we have people in business, people in philanthropy. Women who have made a difference throughout their lives because of what they took from this university.